And now, yeah, she's gonna know what to do as far as that.
All right, how are we doing today? Well, in here on this cold Thursday, it's getting a little cooler, isn't it? I had frost on my car the past couple days, don't know that. All right, let's get going, we're gonna start with this week's Bolt Law, number 21, it's not over till it's over. I like this one, and I'm gonna tell you why I like this one, because guess what? We are problem solvers as agents. I know that there's a lot of deals out there that are tough to put together. Easy to get under contract, hard to get to close, right? Here's what I know. Your transactions at some point are not going to go perfectly. And the good news is you have a team behind you that can help you get over the line. Well, how many deals do you think you put back together in a month?
Oh. Well, I don't know, it could be put back together, it could be a little different viewpoint, maybe go another direction, managing expectations.
Yeah.
I will say this though, most of the time, the deal went south, and I would say like 70% of the time, the deal goes south. And it goes back to the very first conversation that we had, where maybe we didn't set the right expectation. Something I'm seeing a lot of right now is I'm seeing property hit the market, and not just, this isn't us, this is overall, seeing a lot of property hit the market that's overpriced. And then that turns into, yeah, my seller is wearing me out, you know, because it's not sold, blah, blah, blah. But you know, that CMA is important, motivation is important, and you know, you just, neighbor's house sold last year for X amount, it doesn't really matter anymore. You also have the cyclical nature of the business right now, too, where we're going into the winter months, which will, you know, typically levels off a little bit, so. Not over till it's over.
Well, and I also think this, sometimes you just need to take it easy. Sometimes you need to miss the call. Collect yourself, call them back in a minute. And what I know to be true about real estate is. You all are good at it, you all are professionals, we are going to problem solve. And so sometimes. We gotta be that duck on the water, right? Our feet under the surface might be going crazy. But above the water, we're calm, cool and collected, right? Sometimes you just being that calm presence for your client helps this. Right? Most deals that Bo said go south just need a different perspective, they need to be seen from a different arena, they need to be. Expectations reset, and we can do that, right?
I will say the deals that seem to like are going south. And continue to go south are the ones when I take a call from the agent and the agent is hysterical. And I'm like. Is that how you're talking to your customer? What do you mean? Is that how I'm talking to my customer? I mean, is this how the conversation's going? Guys, if it's the other agent's fault, if the seller's unreasonable and you have the buyer, if it's vice versa, whatever it may be, if the inspection is not great. Here's the thing, you've got to keep them in a good place. Because anything else, you're just gaslighting them, right? You know what? You just ease them past these little bumps in the road. You know, if another agent is that you don't feel like they're pulling their weight, the last thing you want to do is tell your buyer, well, I'll just tell you that agent over there, not doing their job, doing a terrible job. You know what I mean? And they're selling that you're basically just pushing them away from finishing the transaction because you're creating fear. So, you know, our job is to de-escalate. And get them to a good place where they can make a great decision.
Yeah. All right, so that's this week's Bolt Law. A couple of things, if you have registered for full Bolt, by the way, it's not too late, step 2 is next week. Here's the benefit and the incentive to being in the Bolt room, okay? On Fridays, for the next 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 Fridays, Gary Keller is going to be teaching via Zoom. That is a big deal.
Live,
right, live via Zoom. And that's the thing, like, he's gonna be talking about bold truths, laws and thoughts. Here's what I love about this year's Bolt. Gary wrote it. It's come from Gary's desk, right? It's not something he's borrowed from somebody else. Gary wrote this Bolt. Every other Bolt that you've heard or experienced was not actually written by Gary, believe it or not. So this is a big deal. Jason Abrams, he's our head of industry and learning. He's got on Mondays for the next 5 Mondays. Well, we just had on this past Monday, triple your income and know precisely what to say. Anybody in here want to triple their income? Yeah. I would say it's worth some time and investment there. Learning from Jason, he is going to give you everything you need to do that. Then Jeannie Osnes, we had her on Tuesday, we have 2 more Tuesdays with her. She is a Max coach, she is phenomenal. I just recently took a training with her last month around coaching. And it was excellent, and she's gonna talk to you about life by design. And then Cody Gibson, who is our vice president of Max, he's going to be available the next 5 Thursdays, today at 1. On mindset, habits, and living a bold life, right? Cody Gibson, former world coach. Huge MREA agent, and now VP of Max Coaches. These are bonus live sessions if you've been registered for Full Bowl, okay? Like I said, you still have opportunity on the 22nd, next Tuesday, we will be at Copperoo again, Kristen will be in the room. Definitely register for this, if you haven't, please talk to Howie and or Alexis. Alright, we got birthdays coming up, so if you see these folks, Trisha, is it your birthday today? Well, I don't have to share it. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Trisha. Happy birthday to you. What are the big questions?
12-year-old soccer practice tonight, but. Feeling Saturday.
And she has her biggest one yet under contract right
Let's go.
now.
Got it under contract yesterday.
Yes.
Congratulations.
Yes.
That's all we got about?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay, great,
made it work.
congratulations. Yesterday, Trisha did a phenomenal job around negotiating commission. So kudos to you, doing the thing in real time,
Yeah.
as we're navigating all the changes. If you need any information, go see Trisha.
Yep.
She negotiated her commission and it was awesome. So,
Scary.
yeah,
Yeah, I would get.
No,
Ray, how do we do this? But we got it.
Yes.
excellent.
Yeah.
So if you see these folks, make sure you tell them happy birthday. I'm glad we got to sing to you, Trisha. Happy that you're here. Bucket fills. Let's fill some buckets. There's some good things going on in your world. There's some good people in your world. Let's give them a shout out. Bucket fills. I don't move on until I get 3.
I'll fill a bucket, so, oh, I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, you're fine. Ashley's not here, but I just want to fill Ashley's bucket because she's just awesome and she helps me every day. I mean, just this morning I was talking to her and she actually helped me get through a client. So I have a showing at 2:30 today. So we're super excited. We just love Ashley.
Great work. Shout out to Ashley Spencer. She's doing a lot for her team, so that's great news. All right, 2 more.
I'll fill Hallie's bucket, you know, it's every week, right? Lunch is here, it's all put together. You know, we have some great vittles, great things to eat.
Vittles?
Yeah, vittles, and you know, it's I just really appreciate it. I looked up today, she's coming across the parking lot, she has the equivalent of like 3 shopping carts on her shoulders. Carrying them into the building, right? So no, I'm not, it was a lot, right? It was a lot of stuff, but she makes that happen and finds lunch sponsors for us to make it happen, and I just really appreciate that. That's a big undertaking. Thank you.
Shout out to Alec, great work. I want to echo that. Go ahead, Rosemary.
I'm gonna fill Alexis's bucket.
Okay.
Because. She's sort of our unsung hero at the moment, we are sort of. She's learning a lot and having to learn it really fast and sort of having a lot come at her at one time and so thank you for all that you are doing and it's got a lot coming at her, so she's been awesome for me too, she's been having to really quickly learn and quickly and she's been doing better.
No, that's great. Shout out to Alexis.
Yeah.
Being an MTA is a very hard job.
Great
I
it
don't,
was.
yeah, I don't envy anybody in that seat.
Right.
However, I am grateful for the person in that seat, and Alexis and Kristen have been great for me. Go ahead, Houston.
I've got a couple of bucket fills, one to my mom,
Thanks.
she does a lot of. She does a lot of rock here.
Who's your mom?
Bo Smith. But yeah, so shout out to my mom, I know you all see her here all the time, but I get to see her outside the office and how hard she works at home and from home and all the errands she's running around, so. Shout out to mom, shout out to you, I got in Joseph's calendar, had a great meeting this past week, talking about some financials and some goals, got me on a good path, so I appreciate Joseph for that, and then my last bucket bill, I'll say to Sheridan, I know he's not here. But this past week, me and the Catalyst Group, we got to go out to Georgetown and look at some new construction. We were there for about 4 hours, some really good information, so yeah, shout out to those people,
Did we learn anything?
absolutely, lots.
Absolutely. Great news. I'm happy to hear the bucket bills. It's what makes us great. And anytime that there are people in our world that help us, it allows us to go and do that for others as well, right? So, be thinking about who you're going to help this week, right? Bucket bills are great. I got some things that I want to go over. Has anybody read the book by Jim Collins From Good to Great? Anybody read that book? It's a great book. And it's a book I think that has kind of changed my mindset in leadership, but in business and how I approach life, leadership, and business. And here's what I'm going to remind you of. Because if you don't feel this way, you need to do whatever it takes to get to feeling this way. You are a leader. You are a leader in your home. You are a leader in your life. And really, for the context of today, you are a leader in your business. Okay, and so the reality for me, when I read books like this, and when I think about my position as your team leader in this office, how can we have fierce conversations
It just exploded.
around our roles, around what's expected from us as leaders, right? And so I'm gonna do a quick synopsis, and then we're gonna dive into a couple things around From Good to Great. Look, I want you to read this book, because the book, I think, will always do a far better job than somebody up here explaining what the book says, right? But the reality is, I know some of you aren't gonna read the book. So we are going to talk about it, right? And so the synopsis is, in Good to Great, Jim Collins explores the factors that enable companies to make the leap from mediocrity to not just greatness, but enduring greatness, sustainable greatness, staying power greatness, right? And through rigorous analysis of over 1,400 companies, Collins narrowed his focus to 11 that transitioned from good to great over a 15-year span. The book outlines some key concepts, including disciplined people, disciplined thought, and disciplined action. Any words sticking out in that sentence? Discipline, yeah. And it illustrates how these ideas can be applied in practice. And the core idea is that greatness is not a function of circumstance or luck. Hear that today. Greatness is not a circumstance or luck, but the result of consistent application of certain principles. I would also add, greatness is not a function of circumstance, luck, or talent. Hear me on that, okay? But the result of consistent application, right? So one of the big things is disciplined leadership. Some of the best leaders you know in your world, whether you know them personally or not, or see what they do day in and day out, guess what they are? They're disciplined leaders. Leadership at the top matters, but not necessarily in the conventional sense. And this is where Jim pulls from another great leader, another great author, John Maxwell, from the 5 level leadership, right? So level 5 leaders are humble, but yet they're fiercely driven toward the success of their businesses, right? The best leaders in your world, the level 5 leaders in your world, they're going to be humble, but they're going to be fiercely driven toward the success of their business, right? So when we look at this, right? I'm going to move this real quick down here. We have to earn the right to become level 5 leaders, right? When I took over this job in September 22, I was coming out of a level 5 leadership role, running a nonprofit for a decade. And I was entering into Keller Williams Commonwealth as, guess what? A level 1 leader. I had the position, right? I had not yet earned the right to lead anybody. I earned the right to get the position. And then I've had to grow as a leader. When you think about your real estate business, I want you to view yourself in that way with every single client you come into contact with. Now, there are going to be people in your database who you're already there. at level 4, level 5. But then every new person you meet, guess where you start? Level 1. And then we have to earn the right, then we have to get permission. Right? We have to build a relationship. You know, when we think about our lead gen, guess what it looks like? Going from lead to contact. Right? If you watch my video on Monday, I talked about the lead gen model. When we put people in our database, when we meet people at level 1, we want to go from contact to lead, or from lead to contact, and when we go from lead to contact, guess where we go? From 1 to 2. We start earning the right to be in a relationship with that person. We're coming from contribution, we're leading with value. You know, a lot of times why you don't want to make calls or have hard conversations or any conversation at all is because it feels like it's a job, a task, an obligation, and you're not coming from a place of, I'm going to help this person. I'm calling this client because I have something of value for them. You're thinking about it in a way that needs to be reframed. And so our job as leaders in our businesses are to go from level 1 to level 2 to level 3. And what's great about level 3 is we look at our results. We can track it, we can measure it, we look at production. Right? And this is where this office really kind of took off. This office grew by 30% within a year of me being in the seat. And did Joseph do all that work by himself? I certainly did not. Right? I had a team of people. I worked on things. We put in the work and we got some results. Right? And then we started to top grade. We started to get better. We added more people. We added satellite offices. We added more people to the team. Hallie, Lexi, Alexis. Right? And then we're going to develop people. So when you think about your business, well, once we get to level 3, that means we're starting to get results. We're getting into productivity. We're leading our clients into an arena to where we can get some results. Right? And you get some validity there for yourself and then for your business. Do you think reputation matters in real estate?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, 1000% does. Do you think reviews and what people say about you online matter in real estate? Yes. So when we think about where we're at, level 1, level 2, level 3, 4, and 5, with our database, I want you to think about how you're a leader in your own life, how you're a leader in your own business, and that your thought and your mindset needs to be, where am I at with this person? How can I earn the right to go from 1 to 2, or from 2 to 3 to 4? And where do I go to continue to get this level 5 pinnacle of respect, right? So I think for you all, when we think about our businesses, when we think about really, if you don't view yourself as a leader, then your client is going to lead you. And I can promise you that never turns out well. Go ahead, Doug.
You know, it's interesting when I look at this, and I'm a big fan of John Maxwell. This is a quintessential book. If you'd like to read it, and it doesn't have to be because you're in a leadership position. If you look at the very first part, people follow you because, right? And then there's the different levels. You think about that in the scope of being a real estate agent. You can take out the word follow, and you can insert call, refer, right? Ask you questions about real estate. Any one of that. You know, the higher level conversations you're going to have for people, they're going to refer you, right? Some of it might be because number 4, what you've done for them, it's a previous customer, right? Maybe they do it because, you know, they simply just know you're a real estate agent and they saw your name on a sign, so they called you. Your opportunity to continue to do that, if you've done business with them in the past, right? The quality of the work that you've done for them. So understand this, it's a book that shows up in your world in a lot of different ways. Because if you're not, like Joseph said, if you're not leading your people to where they'd like to go, who's going to do it? You are the industry expert. You get paid in proportion to the amount of value that you bring, right? You're the trusted advisor. Your words carry weight, right? We can go on and on and on and on. So think about this. Am I leading my database? Do all roads lead back to me as a caretaker of this team that I'm leading, which the team is your client base, right?
Thank you, Bo.
Yep.
And here's the thing about that, right? This is applicable in your personal life and in your business. So these tenets of leadership and these levels, I think if you're not internalizing, if you're not pursuing, you're not ultimately gonna get to where I think you wanna be as an agent. Right? And what I know about most of everybody in here, if not everyone, you guys are growth minded. You're looking to be better tomorrow than you are today. Right? And I think if we start to believe this about ourselves, then that will directly impact how we talk to the people in our business, our clients, our vendors, our agent, co-ops. It's going to show up differently, right? All right, one of the other things that you need to be thinking about going from good to great is that great businesses prioritize getting the right people on board before deciding on strategies or goals, and it's more about the who than the what. And this is more broad and general in terms of your business, but this, I think, is more about who you are. Right, than what you do. Because here's what I'm gonna tell you. You put 100 realtors in a room, the overlap on what the realtor does is probably gonna be similar across the board. But the who behind that is definitely gonna be wildly different. Here's what I'm going to promise you, and I talk to agents in this office and outside of this office every day. Not every agent is the same. Not every agent is created equally. Not every agent has the same mindset, skill set, or capacity to be great. Nor will they make the choice to be great. 95% of the people in your industry are going to choose to be okay. They're going to choose to be good. They're going to choose to be comfortable. And none of those things are inherently wrong. But here's what I'm going to tell you. You can only be good and comfortable for so long before you start to backslide. Before you start to decay or deteriorate. Right? And I don't want that to be harsh, but the reality is if our pursuit isn't to be great, then why do what we do? Okay? So who you are matters. And the focus on who you are, and even the clients you choose to work with. There are plenty of clients that I'm going to tell you right now, don't work with. Because of perhaps who they are. Right? And how they conduct themselves. We can all think of that client. I promise you, you're thinking of somebody. And if you are new enough that you don't have anybody coming to mind, we can probably think about somebody in life who you would choose probably not to be in business with, right? And so the who matters. The focus on people is a huge part of your business. And here's why I think that is 1000% relevant in our current situation and really in any real estate market. Unwavering resolve with adaptability. Does that resonate with anybody? Any new changes that have been instituted over the last 2 months, literally to the day?
I think there was one,
Okay.
just kidding,
Yeah.
that was sarcasm. Follow along, people.
But here's the thing, facing reality. I don't believe real estate agents who aren't doing that. You know it. You see their posts. Right? And then you see how they're operating now in the business and why they might be struggling or coming up against resistance or certain things. Facing reality, not enough people are doing that. You need to be somebody who does. You can be honest with reality, you can be honest with yourself, have some self-awareness, and then you can adjust. And here's the other thing. I think it's a universal tenet in any human's existence. You have to have some level of faith. Right? That things are going to work out, that you are going to show up, that there will be a solution, that there is a purpose behind your business and your desire and passion to help people, right? Great businesses accept harsh truths, but persist in their pursuit of greatness. You know the people who got out ahead of all these changes? Were the people who accepted reality, accepted the harsh truth that some things might have to change, And they got on board and they started moving in that direction. They had a head start. Because they were cool with the reality that things would have to change. Change is inevitable, growth is optional. Right? Disciplined action. Here's the other piece. This one might sting. We spend about 60 to 70% of our time professionally in that O world, in that obstacle, or if we want to reframe it, in the opportunity. When things get hard, or when we have to level up or become the person that we need to be to get the things that we want, then we have to have disciplined action. What is our mindset? What is our skill set? What are our activities? Success requires discipline at every level in your business. Success requires discipline at every level of this organization. We need it at the top with me. We needed it with everybody on our team. We need it with our agents. And let's be real, we need it with our clients. They play a role in this, right? So success requires discipline at every level of the organization. It involves sticking to core values while also maintaining adaptability to changing environments. And so this thing right here is important because when I consult with a top 20% agent, you know what their problem is 9 times out of 10? It's not that they need to know what to do, generally speaking. It's, have you been disciplined in your activities? Are you disciplined in your mindset? That's where the problem is. That's where the struggle is. That's where the resistance is. It's not about how do I do it? Most often it's, am I doing it? Right? And as much as I'm telling this to you all, I can look in the mirror and have the same conversation with myself. Where are my disciplined activities? And how is that showing up in my business? Right? Long-term thinking and momentum. Building greatness takes time. It's about consistently moving forward, pushing the metaphorical flywheel with discipline until momentum takes over. In real estate, for you to stay in the game a long time, you know what it requires? Consistency. It requires that disciplined action consistently, time on task, over time, compounds and shows up in your business. You know, that's why I actually, when I consult, I ask you what your 30, 60, 90-day pipeline looks like. Because what you do today dictates whether you get paid 30 days from now. What you do 30 days from now will dictate what you get paid 90 days from now. So if we're not thinking about our long-term momentum and strategy for our business, if we're not using discipline, action, and consistency, then guess what? We're going to wake up one day and we're going to wonder why the pipeline is dry. And guess who we're going to have to blame? Ourselves, right? What are we doing to stay consistent? What's our long-term thinking and momentum? Are you talking to people? Are you having conversations? Are you setting appointments? If you want to close 2 homes every month, then you need to have 4 appointments. If you want to close 4 homes a month, you need to have at least 8 appointments. If you want to close 1, what are you doing every day to go out and get 2 appointments? And are you doing that every month? Because you guys wake up every day broke. You guys wake up every day chasing the paycheck. And that's admirable. And that's also why you get paid a lot of money. Let's not sugarcoat reality. We get paid a lot of money to offer our professional services to our clients who need it. And it's worth it. But we have to do the action to get there, right? If we want staying power, guess what we're going to do? We're going to make the calls today, tomorrow, the next day after that, a month from now, 2 months from now. Or the choice will be made for us to do something else. Right? So the concluding thoughts here are Jim Collins concludes that greatness is not an outcome of a single defining moment or a stroke of luck, but the result of a cumulative process driven by disciplined people, thought and action. If we want to go from good to great, these transformations are rare but achievable. And what's great about the book is it serves as a roadmap for businesses and organizations to move beyond mediocrity to enduring greatness. Listen to me when I tell you the enemy or good is the enemy of great. Okay? If we settle for good, we're not ever going to go be great. And here's the other thing I want to tell you. Good isn't a problem. Good is good. But if you want life beyond that, then it's going to take a different version of you. Right? I want a good life, but more than that, I want a great life. And I'm not in the interest of settling for a good life. I think I've got more potential. I think my wife and kids deserve something better than that. And I know that each one of us in this room also have people in their life who would prefer that they go be great rather than settle for being good. Right? So here's what we're going to do. We're going to take 2 minutes and we're going to be real honest with ourselves. Whether you write it in the notes on your phone, whether you write it in on your hand or you got pencil and paper, we're going to be real transparent with ourselves, do some self-assessing, and we're going to ask this question. You're going to ask this question to yourself. I don't even care if we share, but we're going to ask, what is holding you back from being great? Is it your limiting beliefs? Is it the self-talk that you don't have what it takes? Is it fear? And is that fear maybe leading you into analysis paralysis? You are by nature a worrier, and so you're thinking of all the negative outcomes, and you're focusing on the negative outcomes. Is it your mindset? Is it a skill set gap? Or is it just down to your activities? Everything else good, you just gotta go do the work. So take 2 minutes to write down what's holding you back. All right? And if we've got that, I want you all to make a decision today. Right? To move on from that, to strike a line through it, to exit out. If it's fear, put a line through it. And commit to acknowledging the fear and guess what? Doing it anyways. Courage to do this job isn't that, hey, I'm not going to be scared anymore. It's acknowledging it and doing it anyways. Right? Make the phone call, do it scared. Have the conversation, door knock. Because everything you want is on the other side of some of that temporary pain that you're refusing to put up with because of fear, limiting belief, mindset, skill set, or your actions. Right? All right, any ahas, any takeaways? Anything from this conversation where you feel like you've gotten better or you're going to implement something into your business?
So, as I'm looking at what holds you back, so that analysis paralysis piece, right, that overanalyzing, typically shows up for me as procrastination, right? So literally like in my mind believing that I'm going to think it through at a level, right, that's going to take me from maybe a 92% success rate to 100. When the reality is, need to just take action, even if I'm working at about 80% success rate, right? Because at the end of the day, if I'm running at 80% success rate, conversion rate, closing rate, whatever, I'm going to have a big business. I'm going to get a lot of things done. The other thing that will get me into analysis paralysis is I'm probably not focusing on the things that are the most important. I'm in that place where I'm analyzing so many different things to get so many things done when I really need to pick one or two.
Yeah.
Take them to the finish line and that'll ultimately create the biggest ripple effect. That's me.
What else? I need two more. I like that. Go ahead, Misty.
Well, this is an aha because it's a reality check of something I already know, but the saying no to others, like I'm a people pleaser, I know that's, and so because I am full-time with this business, I have a lot of family and friends that are always wanting me to go here and go there and do this and that. And I end up saying yes when I should be saying no, because I end up suffering at my own demise of not fulfilling my daily activities.
Right. They're pulling you out of your rhythm, pulling you out of your.
Because I work from home, they think that it's just, and because I don't work for someone else.
Right.
And that's, I know what I need to do, but I also don't wanna say no to,
It's tough,
yeah.
right?
Can I help you with that? I'm sorry,
Yes.
can I jump in there?
Yes.
Let me help you. So when they call me and they say, oh my God, because they think you got all this time and everything else like that, and can you come help me chop down some trees or whatever it is they're asking you to do, right? Say, yeah, oh my God, I think I can work that in today. Hey, while I've got you on the phone, I'm curious. Anybody's thinking about buying or selling or maybe investing in real estate? I ask them every single time. You want to ask me for something, right? You're looking for my insight, my time. That's great. Well, I sell real estate and I know you've got, a lot of fantastic people that are probably going to make a real estate decision this year. Who can you think of right now? And they go, oh my gosh, I can't. Oh, it's okay. I'll give you a few minutes. Yeah, guess what? Yeah. They just, set the pace. There's nothing wrong with a quid pro quo, right? There's nothing wrong with that.
Yes.
And yet it is easy to be seen as someone that has a very flexible job. Reality is when you're busy, there's no flexibility. Because you can't show up for a listing appointment late. You can't miss us, you can't show up late for a show. You can't not go to the closing. You can put off going to the grocery store, but you're going to the closing. With me? So I think I've been there too. And then it turns it also the one with all the free advice, right? For any one of a number of things, seems like that's happened my entire life, right? And yet it comes from a place, like you said, people pleaser, wanting to help people, wanting to contribute. Yeah, so I appreciate that.
Well, and you're gonna suffer through the hard, one way or the other. You're gonna suffer through the hard of not capitalizing on business you could have. Or saying no and the temporary pain of, oh, I'm a people pleaser, I just said no.
Yeah.
Then you start building up that muscle to be able to guard your time, guard your work, because you're not just sitting at home, right? You are working. All right, one more, aha. Go ahead, Tricia.
I have whatever the opposite of analysis paralysis would be, but I have the analysis, I'm gonna try it, say, but then no way, what if I try it this way, no way. So I fool myself, and the maths coach calls me out on it, that I fool myself into I did so much when I didn't have to do it 5 different ways to get one result.
Sure.
And that idea of kind of like the 80% done is better than perfect, it's something I have to tell myself a lot, because I'll try it 5 different ways when one would have been perfectly adequate.
Yeah, well, and here's the other thing, being busy doesn't equal being productive.
Yes.
Right, I think a lot of times, especially for independent contractors and anybody who's their own boss. We find ourselves being busy a lot. And then we lay our head down at night and we think to ourselves, what did I get done today?
That's why when Trish and I text each other, it takes so long because we keep rewriting that text. I can see that little bubble going. And then she texts me like 4 words and I'm thinking, really? Trish, no, I'm kidding. But I mean, who's done that? Who's overthought the text? Send the text. Just send it. You know what I mean? Yeah. Tell myself that a lot.
Well, and here's the other thing, again. If you wanna be great, don't settle for good. And what I can promise you right now in this market. With the clients that you will be working with. You're going to need to choose to be great. Because that's what our clients deserve, and we don't actually have enough of it in the industry, in my opinion. Right, I really think we can level up as agents and as an industry, because the public. Has maybe gotten the short end of the stick from some of the agents they've dealt with in the past. Right? Any questions? Any thoughts? Additional comments? All right. Next week in the Market Center, we got stuff on Monday. Tristan is going to teach everyone who wants to know, and if you don't know, you need to know how to get paid. Okay, that's a great training, how to get paid with Tristan. At 1 p.m., we have the growth committee with Jeff Green. Tuesday, we will be at Copper Root for Bowl Step 2. Really excited to have Tristan back in Lexington for that. Wednesday, private consulting, that's a class I've been teaching. I most recently taught it on a Saturday for our dual career and our part-time agents. This goes back to seeing overpriced homes on the market. This goes back to expectations in the first conversation. Are you qualifying your clients at the highest level? We will have that conversation on Wednesday at 11 and client consulting. If you want to go next level with conversation with your clients, you need to be there. And at noon, we've got the top producer mastermind with Sheridan Sims. You don't want to miss that. He always brings a level of professionalism and expertise that really is rare in the market. Thursday, we have key meeting, leveraging AI in your business. Looks like Firefighters Move You is going to be our lunch sponsor. Excited about that. Leveraging AI in your business. It's almost like the social media thing. You can no longer say, I'm not going to do social media and be a real estate agent. You got to have some sort of presence. You have to do something. AI is getting to that point. Agents all over are already using AI in different facets of their business. You're going to want to learn some things then next Wednesday or next Thursday. Then at 1 p.m. we've got Warranty 101 with Emily Doyle, and then Agent Productivity with Matt Peter and Brian Martin. We do have I love this graphic. How you must be responsible for the graphic. All right, so Thursday, October 31st, we are having our Halloween team meeting. It's a chili cook-off and a costume contest. Okay, here's what I'm going to tell you. Alexis thinks she is going to win. All right, she is very competitive. Here's my challenge to you all: do not let somebody on the leadership team win. Okay, please show up, show out, bring some chili. I'm making chili and I will be in costume. I haven't told anybody on the leadership team what I'm dressing up as, but just so you know, I am also competitive. So please dress up, bring some chili. We're gonna have a blast. You don't want to miss that, okay? Reach out to Hallie for more details. She's right there. She's also known to be at the front desk. So
Has anybody in here won the Halloween costume contest before? Here?
I am.
Okay.
I am a former winner. Oh, by the way. So
Must have been a year I was.
Yeah, that's what I thought, it's the year's not over here. Sorry.
same. All right. Sorry. All right, today, you want to stick around for this? Jimmy is right out there. He's about to walk in. He's doing a business planning clinic. Elevate your game for a successful 2025. If you haven't sat down, what's up, Jimmy? Hello. Welcome. If you haven't sat down and planned out your business, or even just sat down and thought about it, you need to stick around for Jimmy's class. Jimmy is a $60 million producer. He runs a big team in Louisville. They have actually expanded into Florida, Ohio, North Carolina, and where's it? Isn't it? So just other parts of Kentucky. That's right. Somerset should have been first. Yeah, we go.
Yeah.
So Jimmy is he's the master of planning a big business, right? And so he's gonna be able to help you with that. He'll go next level with it. CEO of the Jewel Smith Group, Kelly Williams. That's your wife, right? Correct. Okay, yeah. She's the real star, but we need Jimmy, right? So you want to stay for that.
When we were in November, talking, you were on some more economy, where we can put it,
We have a salsa night. So we're not just all about real estate. We want you to have fun. Rosemary.
Bring your own salsa and who's bringing the chips?
I think,
Fancy.
yeah.
Not salsa.
My bad.
Yeah.
I think you knew that it was about daylight. So please come on out. I will be here with my wife. There will be a bunch of other people. And if you can't dance, that's okay. I can't dance. So I will be right there with you. There's gonna be food, there's gonna be beverages, there's gonna be a DJ. Just come on out. It'll be fun, 5 to 7, November 2nd. You want to register or RSVP with Rosemary, please do that, okay? We have career night tonight. Lexi and I will be here in the market center, having a great conversation about how we're gonna get real estate careers launched. If you have somebody that you have referred to get their real estate license, make sure you reach out to them today. Tell them that we have a career night and that they should come to it. I'm excited about this. We'll have a Kramer session from 7 to 8, I believe. And really pumped about this opportunity. We have Pi Day coming up. If you want to do an awesome client event for your people, you need to do Pi Day. Scan this QR code. It's November 26th at 1 p.m. in the market center. We're gonna have a Thanksgiving potluck at noon. And then we're going to have a bunch of Costco pies here where you can come up, pick them up and drive them to your people, or you can tell your people to come here to get their pie, right? And here is my encouragement for you to reach out to a vendor, an affiliate partner, and to get their sticker on the pie, and they'll help cover costs, right? So put on a client event for your people, get some pies, because everybody wants a pie on Thanksgiving, whether it's pecan, apple, pumpkin, or something else. You're definitely gonna wanna do this. November 26th, 1 p.m., register here. Hallie's got all kinds of great resources for you, sign up sheets, all of that. So we've got the toolkit for you to go be great running this fine event. All right, Trifecta is our in-house title company. You wanna be able to use them. Anne Marie's in the office if you ever have any
Anne Marie
questions.
asked me to say a couple words on her behalf.
Okay, go ahead.
Guys, if, I can, back, the first thing we talked about this morning, Joseph asked about deals going together, staying together, falling apart, right, setting expectations and stuff. I've seen several deals get back together because people could come in, sit down, talk to Anne Marie, and she could just offer a little bit of insight. I know a lot of you guys in here use her, got a lot of agents in our office that use her. There's a lot of benefit, right, to having someone that you can talk to, you can work with, that you can go in and talk about your client. She'll make some of those tough phone calls for you when they $15,000 tax lien shows up on the seller's title at the end of the, 3 days before closing. And she does a great job with that because, Anne Marie used to be an agent here, so she gets your role a lot too. But give her an opportunity to earn your business, right? If you've got a deal, get it to her, and always nice when you can walk in and sit down and talk to her. So when she's not, of course, obviously here, when she's not out running around and stuff like that too. So, but she'd love to be your go-to. Absolutely.
And what I love about Anne Marie, she's gonna communicate, right?
Yeah.
And I think that's the biggest thing when it comes to title. And when it comes to our conversations with our clients, is you can never overshare, right? People are gonna get upset with you for giving them all the information, right? So she can help with that, she's great at it. I love having her here. All right, inventory, what do we got? What inventory do we have on the market? Sorry, my wife did receive. Let's hit the market. What listings do you have? What buyer needs do you have?
I have 30 acres of Hunter's Oasis. It's
Is that what you're describing it as?
yes, well, it's 30 acres of timberland and all the deer you want.
Where is that? Where's that?
It's in Black Gap, Kentucky.
Black Gap.
Yeah, yeah, beautiful land.
How far away is that from here?
2 hours, 2 hours. And but it's right there, real close to another reserve, and also it's rural, but it's Kentucky rural. But anyway, close to a 4-lane highway and 85.
85? Got water on it?
It's as utilities on
What about, like natural or like pond stream or
it.
something?
2 inches run together, and right down the middle, takes a track, you can create a pond.
Okay.
All the way to the creek.
All right.
That's 600 yards.
Okay. Go ahead, Michael.
Got one gonna be listing tomorrow. It's 597 Snow Creek Road in Clay City. It's 3.8 acres. Nice combination of wooded with a 3.5, I'm sorry,
Did you say Clay City?
yeah, Clay City. It's 3 bedroom, 1.5 bath, 1,600 square feet. Got a nice 2-car detached garage / workshop. It's a really nice place, really nice piece of land. 310.
310? What else?
And then listing at 3825 Bernard Drive.
Did you say 3825
Yes.
Bernard?
Yeah, BARNARD. And it is. I can't remember the square footage now, but it's for like 2,300 on the upper 2 floors, and then it's a finished basement. Square footage. 4 bedrooms, 2.5 baths. Backs to a creek. And it's 419,
Is that here in Lexington?
it's in Brighton Woods. Off Todd's Road.
Brighton Woods?
Mhm.
Okay. All right, what else we got?
I got one coming up soon.
Okay.
It's a good flip house. It's 161 Toronto. Pretty much got an investor looking to flip something. It's 1,000 square feet, 3-in-1. And we don't have the price. It's probably gonna be around 190. Needs a little updating.
You said 3 bath, 3 bed, 1 bath?
Correct.
All right.
Where's it at?
Toronto?
Toronto.
All right, anything else?
And I have an investor looking for something that's less than 5 years old in that $300,000-$500,000 range that we can rent out.
What are they looking for? Something in the 3 to 5 range?
Yeah, something in the 3 to 5 range that makes sense for a rental. Got some cash he needs to spend this year. Yeah, hoping to get there some.
All right.
A commercial piece of property. Okay. 11 acres plus. Close to 4 lane, close to lake. Shovel ready. 6 1/4. We're talking about reducing the investment.
Staffordsville?
Staffordsville, Kentucky.
Come on.
Come on down.
All right. Running out of 8. All right, anything else? All right, that's all I got for you. Make sure you stick around for the Jennings Business Planning Clinic. It's going to be a phenomenal class. And it's gonna really kickstart you and jumpstart you for 2025. Okay?
Sorry, I can't think of the other.
All right. That's all right. That should cover it. Hey, we'll start at 105. Anybody that's gonna stay around. Awesome.
And so I'm just, they're on their way.
All right, perfect.